Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. I'm so super excited. I'm gonna be playing with the new Oden's Eye Luminous and Shadow collection today. We have a palette, we have blushes, we have highlighters. It is so pretty. This is just such a gorgeous collection. I'm looking at everything and everything's just so sparkly. It's so nice. This is all themed around like the god of light and the god of darkness, so it's just a fun kind of opposites sort of collection, and it's very pretty. I did get this sent as PR to test out early. Thank you so much, Oden's Eye, but this is not sponsored. I'm making this on my own free will, and I'm just super excited to share it with you. This collection is launching on Friday, September 20th at 11 a.m. EST, and you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN to save on their sites. I'll have all the launch details down in my description box for you. In this video, I'll be doing close-ups of everything, swatches of everything. I'll be doing 2 looks with the palette, and I will have an additional look going up on Instagram and YouTube Shorts as soon as possible. If it's not already up, it'll be coming soon. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in, chat about this collection. I'm very pumped to dive into it. First things first, we have 3 new blushes. 2 are a matte formula, 1 is a glowy formula, and I love the glowy one. Like, they're all pretty, but that glowy one, as you'll see, is something special. These are just so vibrant and colorful. I love this glowy toppery one. This very much can be like a blush lighter sort of situation where it's like a highlight blush combo. So gorgeous. Luminous Heat is so punchy, so vibrant, so warm and rich, absolutely delicious. And Radiant Flame is such a lovely, vibrant magenta. I don't have too many magentas in my collection, actually. Really, out of my collection of powder blushes, I feel like all 3 of these shades do add something unique to me, which is not always common. And then we have the 3 luminous highlighters. I do feel like these ones are like extra like shimmery, sparkly, glowy, shifty, colorful magic. These are so pretty. I just already love their highlighters, and like ones that are even more glitzy, I'm super into. We have the shades Dim Glow, Subtle Radiance, and Gentle Firefly. I do think these names are all very funny. It makes it sound like they're all very subdued when I feel like they are so sparkly and impactful personally. Dim Glow is that really pretty, almost like sea foam, aqua sort of shift. It's really gorgeous. Subtle Radiance is a little bit more of a vibrant, like bluey, icy sort of shift. And you can even see in the pan, it's just so sparkly. And Gentle Firefly is a little bit more of a pinky purple sort of shift. These are just stunning. I am so happy to have more highlighters from Oden's Eye because I love the sparkle. I love the colors. They are so pretty. I feel like they're not only sparkly, but they're like smooth sparkly. Like, they don't look like chunky glitter on the face personally. I feel like they mesh into the skin itself so well, but I also just personally love a sparkly highlighter, so I will never say no. And we have the Eternal Twilight palette. Again, we have kind of the God of Light into the God of Dark. Very much a kind of opposites, 2 color stories in the same palette sort of thing. Like, you could obviously stick with the warm, the pinky orangey side and kind of stick with that, or you can go very much the more darker, sultry, bluey purple, little pop of green, some gray. You can also mix and match them together, obviously. I think this is really cool. I think this is different for the brand. I like kind of seeing that Norse mythology kind of come back in because we haven't really had things around that theme super often the last few launches. Like, it's here and there, but they've kind of done their own adventure with some other things, which is fine, but it's cool to see them kind of going back to their original sort of foundation. And I think this layout is pretty cool. I mean, when I play with Oden's Eye palettes, I love when they're kind of divided, like there's 2 kind of corresponding color stories next to each other. I just think it's fun. It kind of gets my creative brain flowing, and if you aren't feeling super creative, you can easily just stick to one side over the other. This is definitely their biggest palette, I believe, at least size-wise. I don't know about shade number-wise because there is a fair amount of empty space in here, but I think it's laid out really nicely. I think it's divided really nicely. I really enjoy these colors. I think the shimmers that are in here are beautiful. I'm loving these marbled shades. I'm wearing this one on my lid right now, and I just feel like everything just looks so dimensional. It is gorgeous, and I just can't wait to continue playing with this one, but let's go ahead, dive into the looks themselves, and then at the end, I will give you my thoughts so far. All right, friends, let's do look number 1. I was thinking what would probably be fun in this 2 looks video was to do 1 look with the warm side and 1 look with the shadowy, cool tone side, and then for my video that I'll post on Instagram and YouTube Shorts, I'll probably do a mix and match, kind of pair them together. But I want to do the warms for this look. I think it'll be fun. I want to do kind of a full cut crease, very wet, shimmery looking lid, and I think it's going to be good. Oh, but I also have blushes and highlighter. What am I thinking? Let's start with that. As I talked about, obviously, in the intro, we have one glowy blush and then two not glowy blushes. So I thought maybe since there's two that are more mattes, we'll do one for each look and then I'll top the glowy one on top. And then I'll also, of course, use a highlighter. So I thought for look number one, I would use this one, the Luminous Heat. I thought that would be fun. I thought it would be cute. I thought it would go with the vibe that I have in mind that will hopefully work out. I'm gonna use my Sigma F40 brush and I'm just gonna start just very lightly dusting this in that upper cheekbone area. That's a lovely color. That is so pretty. Just a light little dusting of it. I feel like a little goes such a long way. I only dipped into the powder just a little bit and I feel like that has really nice pigmentation off the bat. Yeah, I really like that color. That's really, really cute. It's so warm and pretty. It's a really fun pop of color. Dare I say this could become one of my new favorite not shimmery blushes from Oden's Eye. This is such a pretty color. I really, really like that. Just gonna dust a tiny bit across the nose. I just simply can't help myself. And now let's go into the shimmer one, the glow powder. Just gonna dip in just very lightly and I'm just gonna lightly kind of dust this over top. Whoa, that is so pretty. That makes such a beautiful topper. Holy cow. Like you could easily use this for like a blush light kind of thing where it's like a blushy highlighter combo. Whoa, that is so pretty. Like obviously the blush is nice by itself, but with that topper, oh, I love it. But I also just love a glowy cheek. I love sparkle and shimmer and all the good things. Oh yeah, that is absolutely stunning. It makes me so happy. That brings me a lot of joy to look at. Now for face highlighter, none of them are super pinky. They're all kind of a little bit more of like a seafoam, a blue, a purple, but the purpley one does have a little bit of a pink reflex, so I thought that could be the best one. This is Gentle Firefly. I'm excited about these luminous highlighters. These are a slightly different formula, it seems, from their other highlighters. These ones seem a bit more glitzy. They're still not like a chunky glitter, like they don't feel gritty, but they are very sparkly. Like as you can see, like that is sparkle central. If you don't like a sparkly highlight, maybe steer clear, but if you are anything like me and you're a sparkle goblin, you will eat this up. That is insane. Wow. That pinky purple shift is so good. And I feel like that meshes really well with all the blushy stuff that I already have going on. I just have a fun explosion of colors on my cheeks and I love it. Well, that was fun. Let's move on to the eyes now. I'm gonna prime with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I'm just going to smear this on and blend it out. So again, I wanna do a little bit of a full cut crease. So for my main mattes, I'm gonna have my darkest shade be Final. I want it to blend into Splend and maybe blend out with Warmness. These are some interesting shade names, I gotta say. So I'm gonna start with Final on this teeny Sigma E36. It's kind of like a pointier, small blending brush. And I'm just gonna go directly in my crease and just start going all the way from inner to outer toward my tail. Just kind of blending it up, flicking it out. I do want more of the focus to be in the front actually, and I'm also gonna leave my lower lash line blank. I just think it'll be a really cool contrast just to have all these colors in my crease and then just a very wet looking lid. I have a vision. That I feel like laid down really smooth. I love it. So now I'm gonna take Splend, that more reddish one, on my E42 from Sigma. And I'm just gonna kind of go really directly on what I just did. I might go like back and re-intensify certain shades once I get this done. But I kind of just want to lay this a little bit right on top and blending up a little bit just to get a little bit of a gradient forming. How many times am I going to say little bit in a row? Small amounts. Small amounts for this crease work. It's looking really lovely. I like what's happening. Just like what's going on with the cheeks and these tones on the eyes. This is looking really lovely. And finally taking Warmness, that really cute bubblegum pink, on this E45 from Sigma. And again, I'm just going to just very lightly kind of blend this up on that edge. And again, I do think I am going to go through and just kind of re-intensify various parts so that we have a fun gradient of all the colors, but I'm really liking this. I think this is nice. It's definitely going to be a bit of a softer, not really muted because it's definitely a vibrant color, but just a bit of a softer kind of colorful cut crease. I think it's gonna be really lovely. Going in with a final time. I guess that's an appropriate shade name for this color, but just tucking that in really deep also just to add to that. Yeah, kind of going like dark to light and then re-intensifying back down the ladder. I think that worked really nicely. Okay, moving on to some shimmer now. I'm gonna start with my Beaute Bar Shimmer Stay. I'm just going to tippy tap some of that across the lid, and then I'm gonna take this brush from Sigma, the E57, and I'm just going to kind of tap, and I'm going to just run this right where I want that cut to kind of be. For me, in my eye shape, I prefer slightly above my natural crease, and I just kind of follow the roundness. Or in this case, I'm really kind of following the shape that I was already putting in, where it kind of angles up toward my tail. Just kind of cleaning that up a bit before I go in with my shimmer. But kind of doing this just cleans it up a little bit more than without, so preps it very nicely. So I have to use this kind of marbled multicolored shade. I have hair color all over my hands, by the way. Life of a hairstylist, in case you were wondering what's going on with me. But look how cool this is. I love shades like this because I feel like they just end up looking so dimensional. I also don't know why I'm using my finger. I want to use the brush so I can get really close to that crease. I guess I'll just lay down an initial little moment of it with just my finger. But look how pretty that is. Very often I'll use multiple shimmers on the lid and it kind of gives this effect where it looks like you have lots of things going on, but this is just one shade. This is very pretty. As soon as I saw this palette, I was like, that's gonna be a standout. I can feel it in my bones. But I'm just kind of following that same shape that I already kind of did with the glitter primer. And I'm just kind of lightly building this up, adding thin layers of it. You don't need a whole lot. And I just want it to kind of feather out as I get to this outer corner. I don't want it to be like a harsh end. This is such a pretty glossy shade. I love that. This is such a beautiful combo. Very like simplistic, but still impactful. I feel really cute. Then for the final shade, I know this is gonna seem like a boring shade, Guard, but this is stunning. When I was just like kind of playing around with this and swatching and stuff, this is just the most wet looking shadow. And I just think this will be so beautiful, topped over everything in an inner corner, even a face highlighter. If you wanted to just take any matte look and spice it up, I can see myself dipping into this palette specifically for this shade. It kind of gives Ritz from Colourpop, but without the squishy Super Shock shadow texture. Thin and fine, and it is so freaking pretty. Like, I know that's very simple, but I just love how glossy and wet that is. I'm really happy with this look. I think this is so cute. Here is look number one. I think this is so pretty. I love just like the glossiness. I love how these different tones are playing together. This is such a pretty look. I'm so happy with it. The eye pencil I threw in was Silverlake from Colourpop, just like a nice, again, kind of wet looking sort of pencil. I wanted the eyes to just stay bright and shining on their own. I threw on just mascara. Obviously, I'm using the Lush Lash from Beaute Bar. And then my lip combo today is Caffeine Pencil from Melt Cosmetics with the Bring the Bling Butter Gloss Bling from NYX over top. I think this is so pretty. I love this. I think this is so nice, and I'm very much looking forward to diving into this palette more. Look number two, I realized I didn't give my accessory details in look number one, but I wasn't like doing anything fancy. I just had on like some plugs from Amazon and an old basic choker. But for look number two, this is from Suki Blade, and these earrings are from Spooky Doodle Club. Let's hop in. Obviously, we're playing with the darkness side of the palette today. I want to do a little blush combo again. I'm gonna do the same thing, do the other matte blush and then top the glow powder on top of it and then play with one of the highlighters. So let's do the other matte one. This one's Radiant Flame. I feel like I probably wouldn't ordinarily go with a bright pink blush like this specifically if I was gonna be doing such a sultry, like cool tone look that I'm gonna be doing, but it's the other option, and I do feel like this one suits the dark side better than the other side. But that's also just my personal preference, you know? So using my Sigma F40 again, I made sure I wiped it off so it wasn't sparkly. Ooh, I'm a little nervous. I get kind of nervous about magenta blushes. They're not always my most favorite color to wear, but we'll see, we'll see. I feel like this particular shade has enough warmth to it that it doesn't scare me as much. It's the very like rich, cool toned like magentas that kind of scare me because they can look a little bruisey on my skin. Okay, this one's actually looking quite lovely and very pigmented, as you can see. I only dipped in once and it's working on both cheeks, so a little goes a very long way with this shade. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, I don't know why I was scared. It just seemed a little intense, and like, I love blush. Like, I don't have blush blindness. I'm very well aware of how much blush I wear, but I was a little nervous. Just gonna dust a tiny bit across the nose. I really like this. That's a nice color. I might still prefer the other one more, but let's be honest, the glowy one is where my heart lies the most. So I'm gonna dip into that one again now, the Glow Powder. I just freaking love this. Oh, it's just so pretty, isn't it? It's just so vibrant and lively and gorgeous. So pretty. Wow. Yup. That's a winner. I think the highlighter I want to use is Subtle Radiance, the more like bluey-ish one. I just think it'll end up complementing my overall look the best. Just taking this on my little lethal fan brush. Whoa, that is so pretty. Very icy, sparkly. Again, if you don't like a sparkly highlighter, you really probably wouldn't like these, but I love it. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. I just think it's so cute. And like, life's too short to not have sparkle everywhere. Again, it's really not like a chunky sparkle. Like, it's very smooth. It just looks sparkly. But I like it. I think that's very fun, very cute. And let's move on now to the eyes. Priming again with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer as per usual. So I definitely want to do something kind of smoky, sultry. I want to play with like the blues and the grays. I am very into this marbled shade, of course. I also think this Void shade is pretty. This Pessimistic shade is stunning. The green, I think I want to pop a green on the lower lash line perhaps. It's gonna be very different than look number one. I think I am gonna go ahead and start with this gray called Black. Using my Sigma E27, and I'm just gonna really pack this on like the outer half of my lid and just kind of feather it outwards a bit. Kind of like that. It's gonna look very kind of sloppy and messy until it doesn't. I'm just kind of laying down the foundation. But kind of like that, just like a chunky outer wings sort of moment. And I'll kind of scoot some of this on this outer part of that lower lash line as well. Going for literally like the exact opposite of what look number one was. All right, so let's start blending it out. I do think I am gonna deepen this up even more, but I wanna start blending out what I have going on. So I'm gonna be using this blue and I wanna blend it in with the lightest blue, so just both blues. So taking this kind of muted, mid-toned blue, I'm gonna use my Sigma E38 brush, and I'm just gonna run this along the edge of that gray. Taking very little bits at a time. I'm even wiping my brush off periodically to keep it clean. So I don't want all of this to get out of my control. While I do want this to be very dramatic, I do want this to be able to stay within my control a bit. I'm liking the vibe so far. This is looking cool. I'm gonna take the ashy shade, the light blue on the Sigma E40, and I'm just gonna kind of dust this along the top as well, just to add a little bit more to this gradient. So I didn't necessarily want the blue to be the prominent part. I wanted the blue to kind of just be an accent to the grays and blacks. I don't play with gray that often. I don't know why, it just doesn't like, I don't know. It's not at the forefront of my brain, I suppose. So I kind of wanted to use this opportunity to like really play with the gray. And I have a strong feeling I'm gonna add some glitter to this look at the end. I just think it would fit this theme really nicely, so just stay tuned. This is looking so pretty. So now I'm gonna take the actual black shade. I'm gonna take this Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I'm just gonna kind of tippy tap this just in that very outer corner, just add a little bit more depth. And I'll do the same to that very outer corner of the lower lash line. And I'm just gonna go through again with my previous brushes, no additional product, and just kind of smudge that out. That looks pretty great actually. I think that looks so good. I just love a nice smoky moment. This is so pretty. Moving on to some shimmer now. I'm of course gonna take my Bella Beauty Bar Shimmer Stay again. Just gonna do a light little tippy tap across the lid just to keep everything staying put nicely, help everything pop really nicely. And I definitely want to use nothingness in the outer half, and I think I want to use void on the inner half. I'm really attracted to both of those shades, so let's just do it. I love these marbled looking shadows. They're just so pretty. That is so gorgeous. Just so rich and dimensional. I'll just very lightly buff the edge of that out. And I'm just gonna take void on my other finger and stamp this all across the front half of the lid. Very gorgeous. Whoa. That is pretty. It's a really nice kind of pewter silver. I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth and make those shades mesh together nicely. Really, really like that combo. That's good. I want to take mistletoe now. I'm just very attracted to that green. I'm going to use the E54 side of this Sigma brush, and I'm just going to plop this all in this front half of my lower lash line and just let it blend into all those mattes that I've laid down before. That is so pretty. I want to take Pessimistic now and put that in the inner corner. That is so cute. Just glossy and pretty. This is such a fun look. I love these vibes. So now I do want to do a combination of some stars with my Colourpop star stamp and maybe some glitter, because I just feel like that would fit like the darkness kind of. It's like a nighttimey sort of vibe. So I don't know. I think it'll be cute. So let's take my star stamp and just kind of pop a couple. Kind of like that. And now I want to take this little glitter gel from Lethal Cosmetics. This is the shade Ultraviolet. I'm just going to use my finger actually. I'm just going to grab like a very tiny amount, and I just want to very lightly just kind of press some of this like kind of all around the outer corner of my eye. I really like these glitter gels. I think they're cool. I don't really put them all over my lid, but I do find if I use a small layer, they don't like stay mushy and gross. Like they do dry down a fair amount, but I do prefer to put them kind of more in like the outer corners or the inner corners. I might even add a little bit to the inner. I'm just feeling really extra with this look, obviously. It looks so pretty. Just all the extra sparkle today. I don't really have any business being this extra today, but it's just for fun. Here is look number 2 complete. I think this is so cool, like so incredibly drastically different from look number 1, but I think it's fun. The addition of the stars and glitter, I feel like just added to the overall theme. And I just think it's so pretty. I love that bold pop of green at the bottom. It is so good. The eye pencil I threw in is Limelight from Kaleidos. This is the same Lush Lash mascara from Beaute Bar. And my lip combo today is Sepia pencil from Nomad Cosmetics with the Lawless Sweetie Balm Stick over top. And I think it's so cute. So I guess we should zoom out and discuss this collection. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out and watching. I've had so much fun with this collection so far. I think these products are so pretty. I love that glowy blush. Like honestly, the glowy blush and the highlights are probably the star of the show for me. I just love the glow and the sparkle, and my cheeks look so pretty. I'm gonna be reaching for those a lot, but I just love how both looks came out. I think, oh, it's tough to pick a favorite because I love how just moody and dramatic this one was, but there was something so pretty and special about look number 1. You'll have to let me know what your favorite was. These blushes are so pretty. The glow powder is definitely my favorite. Like if you need a really pretty kind of blush lighter, glowy topper, this is gonna be the one for you. This is absolutely stunning. I can see myself reaching for this constantly because I love doing like fun little blush combos. I love combining like different like liquids and creams and powders together. So I can see myself reaching for this as a topper all the time for various blush combos. The 2 powder blushes are really pretty. I do think I prefer this one, Luminous Heat, just because I do prefer a little bit of a warmer blush. This one's just not totally what I reach for all the time, but I do think it looks really pretty, and I think both of these paired so beautifully with that glowy topper, so love to see that. These highlighters are so pretty. Obviously, I only used one of them because I only did 2 looks, but I will use the third one as soon as I can. I think Dim Glow is the one that I didn't use, and it's just so pretty. I love this kind of like weird sea foam. It almost has like a mixture of warmth and coolness to it. It's really interesting. But Subtle Radiance that I'm wearing right now is just so pretty. I really like that kind of soft blue. It's like just like a nice icy sparkle with a subtle blue. And then Gentle Firefly is probably my favorite of the 3. I just really enjoyed this pinky purple combination. It's so good. And then of course we have the palette, the Eternal Twilight palette. This is very fun. I really enjoy that we get just such a fun combination of like the light and the dark, the warmth and the cool. You can kind of mix and match. There's really pretty things going on in here. The shimmers are gorgeous. I'm so into this shade. Like when I tell you I think I'm gonna reach specifically for this shade, I'm not even kidding, because it's just the most beautiful, glossy, like just throw it on your lids with some mascara if you need something simple. You could top it on top of anything. It's gonna be the most perfect accent. I know it's such a simple shade. I just love that very smooth, wet looking. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. I love the marbled looking shadows. The different mattes have such fun undertones. I think this is a fun palette. Definitely some standout shades for me. So yeah, that is the collection. The very like light, dark, luminous shadow kind of vibe. It's very fun. I'm interested to see what you think. Are you planning on getting anything? What are you thinking about just the collection overall? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Are you more a fan of like the light or the darkness? Whichever your favorite is. Leave some emojis to represent that down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, if you want to, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. And you can join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only video once a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.